Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today, it's desperate times, desperate measures. I'm filming in my back hall. Um, I'm back at home now, working from home, but the hours are still really long, so I can't film during the daytime when there's ideal light and ideal sound and ideal microphones. So just make the best of what we have available. So today's topic for the second episode in this series of key concepts for beginners is Metsuke, which when you do reading up on it, you'll quickly discover people use the expression looking away at a far mountain to describe it. In fact, Paul Budden Sensei has a book called Looking Away at a Far Mountain. It's a very famous book, which goes really deep into kata, the Kendo no kata. And I do recommend that. If you do see that book, pick it up. It's a good read and great for those who are learning kata and also maybe want to climb in a little bit deeper into kata. Anyway, moving on. You need somewhere to rest your eyes, right, during keiko. This advice, by the way, it applies to anyone who's just getting started, but it's even more critical when you first get into armor. In the UK, it's around about 4th Q, 5th Q, well, 5th Q, I would say, on average, that people are first getting put into bogu. When you're training and you're doing your keiko, you need somewhere to rest your eyes, okay? So it's often recommended that you just look your opponent in the eye. There's a courtesy about that, first off, because it looks a bit shady if you're sort of fencing someone and you're kind of like, you don't want to make eye contact. So get comfortable with that quickly, okay? But you're not staring at them like longingly or something, okay? There's no big, deep emotional thing. The point is you need to rest them there because you'll get hints sometimes of your opponent's intention. Maybe before they strike, they have a tendency to open their eyes a bit or raise their eyebrows. It could be that they frown just a second before they strike. You can pick up some interesting observations about their demeanor in the keiko from their face. So that's one thing, but don't focus too much on the face, okay? Instead, train yourself to see the whole picture. So while you're looking at their eyes, you're seeing everything around, okay? You're looking for the movements in their body, movements in the hips, shoulders. You're listening very carefully. You're obviously feeling the movement through their Enzan, through the shinai as they make contact and they kind of clatter together as they try to break your center. These are the things you're watching out for. But something else to bear in mind is you want to make sure that you don't form a very bad habit, which is to look at where you're going to strike before you strike it, okay? So if you're fencing there and you make a bit of pressure and you think, oh, I'm going to strike his kote, and you just glance down at the kote, they'll know you're coming because you just told them, I'm going to cut your kote, okay? And this is sometimes why people, when they go for men, they pitch their head like this and lift their eyebrows, and it's a bit of a tell. So what you want to develop is a bit of a poker face. Nothing really shows on your face. Even when you're shouting your ki, yeah, try to keep that a bit restrained because you want your ki when you strike to land with the strike. So just before the strike, there should be nothing happening on your face. You should be holding your breath in your belly. Seme, 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 and on the strike. So just before the strike, they shouldn't have a clue that anything's going to happen. But the main thing that you want to have is this real good all-round awareness of what's going on around you during the keiko and every movement that your opponent makes. Also remember that if you have a very strong opponent, if you watch my last video, you'll know that they attack with their back leg and they attack with their hips. Okay? The reason why, one of the benefits of wearing a hakama, it's not the reason you wear a hakama. Hakama is just traditional clothes, and particularly for doing martial arts in. But one of the benefits of it is it's hard to see what the back foot is doing. But the back foot is their main weapon, okay? So you're looking for any kind of tell in that. And it's quite subtle sometimes. Yeah, the stronger the person is that you're fencing, the more subtle it could be. But there's other telltale signs. A lot of people, when they're about to set off, the right knee might lift early. okay? And you don't need to look down to see that. You'll just catch the movement of their feet, of the right knee just starting to lift, okay? And these are some of the clues you can use to time things like ojuwada. Now, I'll get into why you're not waiting to do that. Like waiting around is a bad idea. I'll cover that in another video. But you can pressure them and kind of invite them to attack. And some of the ways that you can tell just exactly when that's going to happen is, as I say, from these subtle giveaways. Sometimes it's shows in their shoulders, like I said, on their face. These are all things you can use to your advantage, okay? Even in other martial arts and combat sports, Steve Wonderboy Thompson, whose channel I'll link, it's very good, very interesting if you're into like martial arts and combat sports as a whole. Go and check out his channel, it's really, really good. But if you don't know who he is, he's a very famous UFC fighter. And he talks about, he would rest his eyes at around about their chest level, which makes sense for what he does because he's on the lookout for kicks. Okay, in Kendo we don't really need to worry about kicks so much. So resting at eye level is appropriate, and it's also, from what I understand, it's a better form of reho, or reigi. So better form of like etiquette and manners during keiko, to show your opponent the respect that they're due by looking them in the eyes. Okay, so that there is that part to it as well. But the principle is still the same, and it's universal in different combat sports and martial arts. Okay, so Metsuke, looking away at a far mountain. Rest your eyes at eye level, look them in the eyes when you fight them, but see the whole picture, okay? And remember, don't look at the targets before you strike. Make sure you don't build that as a habit, okay? Otherwise, enjoy your training, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.